How do you do? It is Monday, the 1st of December. Far out. Yeah, 1st of December 2025. This year has gone like super fast, mega fast. I've achieved a lot, done a lot, but at the same time, not as much as I was hoping, or things that I hadn't, um, hadn't kind of, yeah. Well, I'm really locking in on my kind of management plan, my time management plan, because I definitely feel as if I'm not managing my time great. I've got a lot to do, even though I've got a few businesses which I'm not scaling, I'm just keeping them as is, but they still have work that needs to be done, like J-Cup Media. And all that, because like J-Cup Media, I do like no admin sort of stuff for it, if that makes sense. But I get clients and then they, so there's lots of work to do with that. There's a wedding that I need to finish up. But yeah, the time management, it's a tough one because like I know I've wasted a lot of time this year. Like for a good chunk, basically from when I came out of high school and up to about halfway through this year, I definitely know that YouTube was a big distraction. I watched lots of YouTube. It was good, like YouTube videos and stuff, but still wasted a lot of time. But yeah, so I've cut that back heaps from then till so now December, and I'm not on YouTube and whatnot, like watching it. And I'm making sure that I'm prioritizing where my time needs to be. So if I've got yeah, so it's time management's massive, and I definitely even though these small videos are kind of behind the scenes or kind of following along on my journey kind of thing, I also want them to be able to help you. I want them to be able to be motivational. So I urge you 100%, do a bit of a time audit on yourself. See where your time's getting sucked, where you're wasting time, what's distracting you, what you should be doing. Because I guarantee the moment you kind of take out the thing which was taking away all your time, like let's say you'd scroll on your phone, social media for like 3-4 hours, and then you decided, okay, I'm just going to delete this app, and then you'll find yourself like, whoa, what do I do? Man, 3 hours is taking ages to pass. I've got nothing to do, kind of thing. And it's like you get to that point, and then you'll be like, okay, might sit down, do some work or whatever. Something that I found quite useful is I've got a kind of like a notepad, and I just use it as a general to-do list when I'm sitting at the computer. I use Google Tasks for everything else, and most of the time I put what's in Google Tasks on here, but I actually use this and I write down the night before what I want to do the next day, or the main things I need to do the next day. So for today's one, which I wrote last night before I went to bed, the wedding video, which I've just done the ceremony multicam, so that's all done. Need to change my bed sheets, keep that nice and clean, so that will probably be later today. I can probably quickly do lawns, that will take under an hour. And I need to produce some module videos for someone I'm helping. Shout out to Tanya. well, she's doing something very similar to what I'm doing, and so when we kind of realized that, it kind of just made sense that we collaborated and whatnot. So that's good, very good. But yeah, time. But even I found once I did all that time stuff, I still managed to be wasting a lot of my time just by doing nothing or by doing things that weren't moving the needle forward. Like, I'd sit down for 2 hours and build a Google Sheets income tracking system. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. It's like pretty technical and it looks nice and it does a job, but it doesn't it doesn't move a needle forward. It doesn't, like it doesn't push you for, how do I explain it? Like, if we're talking business wise to do with things that will bring in more money for the business or anything to do with that, the sheet that I spent a lot of time building doesn't do any of that. It's just for me personally tracking my income and stuff. Although I suppose it might have been a good investment because it takes me under 10 minutes to do all of my financial stuff every second Sunday. I normally sit down every second Sunday and do all my finances, so that includes doing my allocations from my checking account. So everything that, like any work that I do as like being employed or whatever, or anything else, everything goes into the checking account. I don't even look at it. It just builds up over the 2 weeks, and then on the Sunday I'll grab that amount and I'll put it into my Google Sheets allocation thing where it automatically splits everything off, and it gives me like how much I tithe, how much this, how much that. And then all I do is I just open up my banking app and I just go transfer, 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 and everything is super fast, quick, simple. So I suppose it probably saves time in that regard, but if you get what I'm trying to get at, is I spent a lot of time doing something which I thought felt productive, which wasn't. I probably used a bad example, but you get my drift with other things. I might sit down and do emails for 2 hours, and it's like, I just answered these emails, but what did they actually do? You know? If it was business emails, that's probably slightly different because you're either confirming a new client or sending off work which is going to bring in income. That is completely different, but hopefully you get what I'm saying with all that. But yeah, so my number one kind of goal, or my number one priority, is definitely working on my time management. So like today I got up nice and early, got out my light. I got up at like 5 something a.m. and I've got an idea that if I get up at those early times and it's still quite dark, if I use this video light and so I sit down and I'll read the Bible, but I have this either like just pointing, blasting in my eyes, or oh, hello, blasting in my eyes. I've got the idea that that's going to have a positive impact on, I think it's like the circadian rhythm or something, to do with your natural sleeping. And basically, in a nutshell, if my brain at that specific time gets trained that that's when daylight, that's when we wake up, kind of thing, then theoretically it would, because the circadian rhythm kind of controls your body's sleep, when you want to go to sleep and when you wake up, and it's got certain areas where melatonin peaks and all that kind of stuff. So theoretically, I'm thinking, if I do that, would it make me actually want to go to bed earlier? Because I aim for 8 p.m, but that doesn't happen. So would it theoretically make me want to go to bed earlier, so more around that time, or even maybe a bit earlier, who knows? And then on the other end of things in the mornings, just naturally wake me up at like 5 a.m. or something, and because my body's doing that and I'm not forcing anything, then I'm like waking up feeling awake, energized, instead of waking up like, whoa, it's the morning, kind of thing. So, yeah, just a couple thoughts. But yeah, gonna fully lock in today. 1st of December, far out. Anyway, that's that. Happy days. Oh, actually, if you want to have a look at this, basically, it is in total under an hour. Whoa, that's good. I didn't even realize that was under an hour. Oh, whoopsie doopsie. Hopefully you're, oh yeah, all good. Good thing that was carpet. Otherwise it would be a different story. For any editors out there, you might find this interesting. So, I've got this, in this video they do a bit of, like they do quite a few songs, and they had an awesome kind of team playing the worship music. Sounded awesome. But I was recording the mix from the desk, and the balance isn't quite, it's not great. But either way, this is a good general practice. Is I've taken the audio from the camera I was using, just the internal camera, because that captured like the congregation singing and all of that ambient kind of stuff. And basically, so I've got that down there. I go into the Fairlight tab, and so I listen through some of the song, and I've put them on separate audio channels, and I actually mix it so that some of the congregation singing is kind of almost overlapping just by a bit the main mix, and it gives it a fuller, instead of it just being an isolated someone on a microphone, la la la, it's like got the congregation singing that part, so it's like chorusy, like, you know, multiple voices, and it sounds really good. It's a really full, like, oh, yeah, so pro tip there. So that's what I'm doing. The ceremony's all multicam edited. I did that early this morning when I got up. It's looking good. Then I'll just, do the audio stuff for the songs. Yeah, and youth group last night. Far out. Youth group last night was awesome. Shout out to Sonny and the team, Lenore, Nick, Laurie, yeah. Because like, it was so, what's the word? Encouraging. Last night at youth group, it was super encouraging. Like it's really. I used to not so much enjoy youth group. It was a bit of a drag. But these last couple of months, it's been like I always feel so encouraged and ready to put in the work, ready to hustle, because at the end of the day, the Lord already has a plan. He's already laid everything out. But it's up to us. It's not just going to be handed to us on a platter. We need to put in the work. We need to take action. And it's always a really good reminder, because I'm sure a lot of us have these awesome like ideas, these awesome dreams, which the Lord has given us, and we're like, yeah, we're so excited for this, and then we sit there and we wait, and we might be praying, Lord, when are you gonna give this to me? When are you gonna give this to me? And He's like, I've already given it to you, you know, because it's at that point it's up to us. We actually need to do something. It's not just gonna magically appear out of nowhere. So if he's given you like a business idea or some sort of awesome dream of some sort, it's up to you. It's not just going to magically happen. Like, you do need to work. You need to take action. You need to put in the reps. Because, you know, we're supposed to be hard workers. If you're working at a 9 to 5, be a super hard worker for your boss, you know. He's paying you and he needs to be able to rely on you to get stuff done and outperform. Impress him, be like outperforming and stuff. You know, that's enough of that. I didn't realize it would turn into a... Right. Yeah. Anyway. Cool. Keep hustling. Yeah, got a lock in. Get going. Okay, catch you later.